is Brandon Groce. And we are the Game Changers. Designers, creatives alike. We are in a world that runs on value. Our next designs will be the shiniest. Our next animation will be the most buttery. Ladies and gentlemen, Game Changers, let the games begin.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another EditorX Live with me, your host, Brandon Groce. I'm super excited to have all of you guys here today because we have a amazing topic to talk about today, which is building a portfolio in EditorX and how to do so smoothly, easily, and butterfully. Okay, first off, I want to say hello to all of you guys in the chat. We have Lisa. Hello. Thank you, first of all, for asking that amazing question for, hey, is there any assets that we can actually use and or download, or a library that we can use to actually build what it is that we're going to build today? The answer is yes, and it is going to be a little bit different, so we'll dive into a few of our house cleaning items for today. First off, welcome. I know there's probably a lot of students in the chat today. Yeah, probably should have had some water before I hit the live, but really quick, before I take a sip of water, what we're going to be diving in today is something really special. I want to show you guys what is possible if you spend a little bit of more time of what we're going to do today in EditorX when it comes to portfolio, something I put together in a very short amount of time yesterday. I'm going to show you who is inspired by, what it looks like from a desktop, tablet, and mobile perspective, and we're going to show you how to, as beginners, how to get the same, if not something just a little bit under that quality for a lot less work. So let's dive into it. What's going on, Night AOX? Glad to have you on YouTube and also to have you on the live stream as well. All right, so let's dive into my screen here. And by the way, please let me know in the live chat if you guys, because sometimes some things get covered by my camera when we were sharing screen, please let me know, but let's dive in. So today's episode's design is inspired by Tazrin. She's an amazing designer on Dribbble. You guys can find the link to her work down in the description because we don't do any swiping here. We want to give credit to all of the people whose work we're inspired by. So what we've put here today is I made my own version. We have some hover interactions here, but also we also did some animations here as well. So what we're going to go ahead and do is I'm going to show you what this looks like once we start pushing and pulling this so it's responsive. This did not take that much time, but because we want this to be a little bit more of a beginner friendly project, I'm going to show you what you can do from literally starting bare bones, not even opening EditorX before, what you can do in a short amount of time. And then the special part of today is what we're going to do is literally, since this is a 30-minute segment, what we're doing, and every Wednesday is we go from this live stream back into our Discord. And if you don't know what that is, it's basically the official EditorX Discord or community. Link down for it in the description. What we're going to be doing is taking this conversation to our Discord after our 30-minute section or segment and diving a little bit deeper into what we talk about here in more depth. So with that said, if you guys have any questions here, we will answer them. But if you want to have a longer conversation, which will be an hour after this, please join us in our Discord because that's where we'll have our design chat and it'll be a lot more valuable for you. All right, so let's dive in. So responsively, this is kind of what we're looking at. Let me minimize my Adobe XD here. So this is kind of the behavior our site has from full desktop. We're squeezing. It goes to tablet and down to mobile. And we also have a menu here. We haven't really updated that, but it's functional. Okay, so is our button. So this is what you guys can do with a little bit more training in EditorX. But today I'm going to show you guys how to not kind of go this route, but do something even simpler that we're going to probably finish in 15 minutes, honestly. So let's go ahead and jump into that. And like I said, please stop me in the chat or just write out your questions, and I'm happily going to answer them as we go through this project. Now, if you do want to, as a freebie for you guys, if you do like this design and you do want to possibly take this into your own EditorX projects, go into the link in the description. I have given you guys the link for this asset library. So basically you get all of this and you can basically reuse it for your own project. So you guys get a freebie there. All right, with that said, let's hop into a new project. So, and by the way, just as a little bit of an intro to what it will look like if you download those the library assets that I give you, is basically I have given you the entire section and I've kind of broken out small elements as well. The library I've given you guys is called the First UX Portfolio, and it's got about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 elements in there that you can either just pull out the entire section if you desire and, you know, fiddle with changing some of the assets out, or I gave you some of the elements that you can push and pull around. All right, so let's begin. And I just want to say another hello to the chat because we have some more people coming in. We have Yash, what's going on? And we have Koala, glad to see you, my friend. We're super excited to have you here as well. All right, so let's begin. Let's dive into some of these things. One of the biggest things that a lot of people don't really realize in EditorX is one, as beginners, one, the templates, and two, the pre-composed elements that we can use that are already made responsively for us. So what I'm going to go ahead and do very quickly is I'm just going to open up a new site, kind of go through what the templates are for available for us as students, people who are brand new to EditorX, and how we can actually leverage that to create literally our first UX portfolio with very little time. So let's jump in. So if you haven't already, first up, sign up for EditorX. It's 100% free, but right now I am in my EditorX profile. I am on my dashboards and I am about to create a new site. And links to everything you need in the description, whether that's signing up, our Discord, and the link to getting our assets. So I'm gonna obviously use EditorX. And let's go very quickly through some of how we want to choose to start. Obviously, what we're going to be doing today is starting from scratch, but I want to kind of just go through with you. If you're really trying to just get out onto the pavement very quickly, this is very important for you guys to know as well. All of these things are already responsive. They are very beautifully designed, and really all you would need to do is change out the assets, change out the typography, and maybe add a little bit of what we're going to actually learn today into some of these already made projects. So I just want to first off start here because this is a foundation, letting everybody know if you just need to get on the ground running, there's templates, very easy to use. We can literally just open one up, we can hit edit, a website is automatically created for us, and literally all we would need to do on top of waiting for it to be made, and we can do a little dance while we're waiting. And I do see there's a little bit of lag here, so I'm actually going to close some of my my tabs here. I apologize for that, guys. Okay, so now we have basically a loaded site here. And essentially, I'm not going to go through the entire thing, but as we can see, we have a whole bunch of, let's go to my pages here. We have a whole bunch of our pages. We have a intro page. I'm just going to swap over to the home page. But essentially, if I'm starting brand new, what I would worry about doing is, one, I have the ability to change the text to whatever I want. I can change the photos to whatever I want simply by clicking on them, changing images, so on and so forth. That's if I'm in a huge rush. That's all I would care about. But that's not what we're here for. We're going to take another step further or deeper into EditorX and kind of not only touch on fundamentals, but something that is a little bit more customizable for us designers, because, you know, we're not all about the templates. So let's talk about that. So let's go ahead and close this, and I am going to open up a blank template here. I'm just going to go here. I'm going to click edit, and it's going to develop our blank site. And while I do that, I'm going to close out some of our content here. Alrighty, so we have our blank page here, and what we're going to start doing is I want to kind of introduce you guys to a very important add elements section in the menu. So if you guys, I'm curious out in the live chat, how many people have actually checked out composition? Excuse me, there was an air bubble. How many of us in the chat have checked out compositions and all of the pre-designed sections? Whether it's the welcome, about, service, team, features, product. We really love to know how many people have really dived into the pre-created compositions, because this is a super powerful tool. It's very much like templates, but it's the puzzle pieces of the templates that we can literally just drag and drop, pull in, and start creating somewhat of a more unique site and adjusting from there. Because what I am going to work with you guys today is building a website that basically has, let's go ahead and jump over to, this is a friend's website. And what I like about his, whoopsies. And what I like about his website, it is very clean. It goes very much like a welcome of like what he does, a little bit of who he's worked with. He's got his portfolio pieces down here, and he's got other videos of himself and essentially a contact form. So I'm like, okay, how can we mimic this in a very short amount of time? And as you guys can see, we got about 15 minutes, so let's dive in. All right, I'm looking at the live chat really quick. It says Asha is saying I haven't really explored it. Well, Asha, you're going to learn a lot today. So basically, kind of, since you gave me some of that context, these, just like I said, on my friend's website, he has like sections. He has a welcome. He has basically almost a testimonial section. He has a portfolio section, and he also has a little bit, you know, this is kind of like his blog section, and then he has a contact. So I'm thinking, okay, well, that's kind of a standard way to go about a portfolio. And as you guys can see in these designed or pre-designed sections, we kind of have a welcome. We have about a section where we can write all about us. And there's a whole bunch of pre-made about design pieces. We also have services. We have team. And, you know, the designs for these sections are really nice. So this is basically the 101 of how to make your website fast and really not have to deal with responsivity, because these things come already responsive. So let's talk about this. What I'm going to do is, just like my man Will, I'm going to drag out one of the first welcome screens here for our website. I'm going to kind of scroll through our options here. I'm going to find one that best works, or I feel fits for me. So I'm going to scroll back to the top. I feel like I'm kind of feeling this. Maybe we can get in a little bit of a profile picture to the left, maybe a background image, something like that. I'm kind of like torn between these two, or maybe these three. So, what do you guys think? Maybe we'll just play with this. I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to drag this out, and I'm going to replace this section. So I'm just drag it out. Boom, we have our first section. Now to take a look, this is already responsive, like I said. And of course, we can click in, we can change the image if we want here. Maybe I type in design. Maybe I pop this puppy in, boom, update. There we go. So we have our welcome section. Now, do we have to, you know, keep it white? Not necessarily. So I want to kind of have a little bit of a dark portfolio. So I'm going to click this section and go to my inspector panel. And I'm going to make this black. So all of our design, basically, if you guys are familiar with Sketch, Editor X, or excuse me, Sketch, Adobe XD, Figma, you name it, any design program, all of the things that you need to be able to change for whatever you have selected is in this inspector panel and in this design tab here. So I'm going to increase the background to 100%, and I'm going to just set this puppy to black. So, hey, what's going on, Kyle? Glad to see you in here. So with that said, I have a quick slight announcement too. If you guys are brand new to Editor X, couple things that you're going to want to do. Like if you need a little bit more of hand holding with this, definitely join our Discord, because literally we are spending an hour plus deep diving to any question that you guys have. We have curriculum we have to go over here, but if you want more, literally more of you know, your questions answered, definitely join our Discord, link in the description, so you can learn as much as possible. So we have our welcome section. We made sure that is a black background, and now I want to go ahead and add another section here. So I'm going to make it blank for now. And I'm going to go back to our elements. And let's say, you know, now we want to write a little bit more about ourselves. So we're going to click about, and we can look for a section that, number one, speaks to us and from a design perspective. And let's see. let me think. I kind of like this, but let's see. Maybe we can go ahead and drag this out, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to pull our section onto the section that we made. We're going to replace it, and there we go. And so what we're going to start off with is essentially figuring out, getting all our sections in, and then going in and changing some of the assets around. Changing the text, the assets, things like that. All right, so what I also want to do here is, so we have our about. Now let's take a look at our portfolio. We want to show off our projects here. And by the way, just to showcase this to you, as I promised, all this stuff is already responsive, okay? And this is for, especially, I have mentored so many people at Springboard, Design Lab, Career Foundry, so many online design institutions. And there are so many challenges with students being able to create content, or excuse me, not content, their portfolio content in a quick amount of time. So if you're looking for something where you're able to very quickly just put together in a couple days, highly recommend this, because really any other platform, you can't get the customization that you have with Editor X, and basically responsive right out of the box. All right, so let's go back to my add elements, and I want to bring in a portfolio section. I'm going to scroll through a couple of these, see which one I really dig. And we also have portfolio, and we can also probably use products as well. We would just essentially, you honestly can use anything here, right? But the way that these are labeled is probably just like, hey, we've already kind of custom made these for you, might as well use them. They are already, for example, if I go ahead and pull, let's decide which one I want to use first. I think I'm okay with this one. Let's go ahead and grab that. I'm actually going to drop this right here. If you guys see this gray area that has kind of opened up as I've dragged that piece out, it's going to create a new section for me. Okay. So I've got my 3 sections, 1, 2, 3, a welcome, about us, and our portfolio piece. Now the last piece that we want to have is a contact section. So I'm going to go to a quick add elements. I'm going to scroll down to, I believe there is a contact. So we have schedule. Let's see what we have here. Files, news. This is another thing that we could use, for example, like our friend William had. We could very much add a news section underneath, but we don't need to do that right now. We're not creating content. We're just trying to get our work out into the world. So let me see. We have footers, sidebar. Let's see what we have for footers. Well, let me just go ahead and pull out a footer. I'm just going to go ahead and drag this to our bottom here. There we go, just to get this out. And let me try to go back again, see if we have FAQs, projects, partners, pricing. Now, if you really did want to create a form, essentially what you would need to do is go to contact and forms. Here we go. This is what I'm looking for, guys. What I would do here is essentially create a new section. I'm going to make it blank. Now, all I would do is go to the inspector of this section, change the background of this section to black, and I would just go back to my add elements, contacts and forms, and I would pull one of these out. So let's see, we have contact us. Maybe we want to do this design here. So I'm going to just drag this right out here. And of course, it has some white on it. We don't want that. So I'm going to make sure I'm selecting that. Make sure I'm selecting the forms. I'm going to go to, actually all the form settings are actually within it. So I'm going to select form settings. And let's try to find, here we go. This is what I'm looking for, the design settings. I'm going to click that. And let's see if we can find a little bit of a different design here. I'm going to Control Z that. Customize design. Let's look for form background. There we go. I'm looking for that fill, color, and opacity. Turning that puppy down. Yes. I'm going to look for our form, or excuse me, input fields. Fill and opacity. We're going to set this to a white color. And turn that opacity up. And now we're going to just edit what is inside of it. So our text, we're going to edit text. And we're going to set this stuff to white. And we're going to do the same thing. Let's go to... We're going to select our fields now. We're going to go to text. And we're going to go to required opacity color, which is basically this required text. And we're going to change this to white as well. Let's see. Increase the size a bit. We'll increase it to about 20 pixels. And we're going to do that the same for each one of these. I'm going to select multiple, holding shift. Go to the text. Font size 20. What? Not 200. What was all that? Hold on. What happened? Let's go back. Control Z. Let's do one at a time. For some reason it jumped to 88 pixels. So let's do 20 pixels. Again, let's set these puppies to a white color. And if you wanted, you can change the color of, or excuse me, you can change the font, things of that nature pretty easily. But I'm keeping my eye on the time. Thank you, Kyle. Contacts, I always was like, you know what? I think that they're in here. But, okay. So now we can go ahead and change this if we wanted. And also the thing is that we don't have to keep these the same, right? I don't have to have first name, last name, email, company, message, whatever. I can edit field. I can change these fields to whatever I wanted. For example, if I wanted to, for example, have a contact form like my man Will here has, and even have some of these pieces, I can actually go in and make some of those changes. But we are unable to do all of those right now. So I'm going to put this back where it has contact us. Or just say hello. There we go. All right, so let's take a look at this. Let's go, we have our tablet down, and I'm also gonna change this as well. So I'm selecting my navigation here, going over to our inspector, setting the background to 100% and setting it to black. From here, I'm gonna select my hamburger here. I'm going to change basic shape, and I'm actually going to upload a menu. I'm going to go to my Dropbox and grab a little something. If I remember where I put it. All right, let's see. Boom, boom, and assets. Here we go. Let's go ahead and grab the menu SVG. Okay, I'm gonna add this to page. And you can also use your own SVGs, ladies and gentlemen, in Editor X. You just have to upload them. It's pretty easy and straightforward. Okay, from here, I am going to do the same pretty much to our logo here. I'm gonna change the vector art. I'm gonna upload media from my computer, and I'm going to find my logo. Let's see. Actually, I'm not entirely sure if let me see, let me make these a little bit bigger. I don't remember which one it is. Group 5. Wonder. Maybe this is it. This is why always name your files, guys. There we go. It was a good guess. Let me go to add that to page. Oh, I made it so it's not white. That stinks. So I think what we'll do, let me think here. You know what? I'm just going to write my name. It doesn't even matter. So I'm going to actually delete that. I'm going to delete that entire element. I'm going to right click. I'm going to quick add. I'm going to add a title. And I'm just going to type my name. Brandon Groce. I'm going to change the color. And I'm also going to change the text here. Maybe I want... We're going to go a little bit of extravagant here. It's not going to make any sense with the rest of the typography on the page. But we're just going to go ahead and do it. We're going to set the font size to 35 or 32. Maybe we'll change this up. Maybe we'll do... Yeah. Don't judge me on my font picks, guys, today. Okay? Alright, so I'm just going to set this where I want. And also make sure that the docking is what I want. I want essentially margin for both my menu and my logo to be the same 5% or 40 pixels. So we got 40 pixels here. I'm going to do the same here. We're going to do 40 pixels. Okay. All right, so let's keep going. Let's take a look. I want, when we're here on mobile, I don't want my name to get scrushed like this. So I'm going to go ahead and go to edit text. I'm going to do a scale text, and I'm going to make sure that the smallest that this text will go is about 20. And the biggest it will go is, we'll just say 30. All right. So let's take a peek at what we've got going on. Uh-oh, what happened here? Oh, that's because we were editing it on tablet. All right, so all we have to do here on desktop is just change the background. Again, this is again EditorX Cascade, so make sure if you want everything to, anything I change to the desktop, it will go and happen to the smaller breakpoints. But if I start, for like example I did here, I was editing everything on the tablet, so it didn't go upwards. It did not affect the desktop version. So I'm going to change the header here to black, and I am just going to hold shift, go to tablet, take these two assets, control C or command C, go back to my header here. I'm going to paste them. I'm going to make sure that my assets did pop in over here. I'm going to turn them on. There we go. I'm going to edit the text here, make sure that it is white. Okay. And again, I want them 40 pixels from the left and the right. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and delete this menu right here. Now, if you do need a menu, last thing I will add to this, because we are almost at time, I did give a buffer of 15 minutes for this. Because I know, yes, we're going to be talking about this a little bit more in our Discord, but if you guys want to add more pages to your website, we'll talk about how to do that in just a moment. And there are a couple things I want to fix. As you see, there's a little bit of duplication happening here. So let's go to tablet really quick. Let's go ahead and delete this. Okay. And let's go to my layers. I think that's what the issue is. So let's see what's going on here. Boom. Let's make this white. So essentially kind of what just happened here is, and I'm trying to say this in as little words as possible, because I edited everything on tablet, what typically happens is that there's automatically a menu or a hamburger menu that is created in every EditorX profile or project, so that after you're done editing with your desktop, as soon as you go to tablet, there's usually a hidden hamburger menu. But what we did essentially is we started working on the tablet and we tried to go back to desktop, and what we created there was automatically in our layers hidden. It automatically hid our hamburger menu because that's typically what EditorX does, and it also automatically hid our H2. We didn't ask it to do that, but it was trying to be a little bit smarter than us and help us out, but that's not what we want. So all I'm going to do is just change the properties of this yet again. What was the text here that we had? Midnight Glamour, or the font. Let's go ahead and change that. And if you wanted, you could also actually update and utilize the themes here. I have not, because I'm trying to do this very quick and also just show you guys how to use the pre-composed or the pre-composition for those who are who are brand new to EditorX. All right, I'm gonna set the margin for this to be 40 pixels from the left, and our menu over here is just fine. Let's go ahead and squeeze this again, see what we got. All right, and it squeezes like we wanted to. All right, perfect, ladies and gentlemen. So last thing I'm gonna do is we are going to add a few more pages. So I'm gonna go to my pages right here, this icon, and let's go ahead and add a few more pages. I'm gonna add a portfolio page. And another thing you can do is add a page, add a dynamic page, which basically means design it once and generate unlimited pages. So if I had a projects page that once somebody clicks into a project, I only need to design it one time, and I can constantly reuse that page over and over for multiple projects. So I can add a dynamic page. I can even take a preset for it if I wanted to. For example, there already is a portfolio piece. I can go ahead and add it to my site, and EditorX will automatically basically create all of this for your site automatically. Now, we won't be diving into all of this today, but essentially what it will do is it'll basically have a whole bunch of, it'll have a content manager for the design of that product or those project pages, and basically say, hey, there's all these sections with data that you can essentially just change here in the portfolio content manager. Again, we're getting to complex stuff, but to keep it simple, the two things that I want you guys to get out of this is, one, how to use very simply, not even diving into the content manager stuff, just how to design your pages using pre-compositions, using these. Very easy. You guys can design them very smoothly. And if you guys want to learn a little bit more about EditorX, there's tons of videos on this channel to help you dive a little bit deeper into how to customize even further. And also, we have tons of resources, including myself and many other no-code and web designers and developers in our Discord to ask a million questions to on your no-code journey. So again, ladies and gentlemen, my goal for today was, one, how to get you guys to use the pre-composition so that you can actually, let me go ahead and publish this so I can prove to you that this is responsive. In long time, I'm looking at the live chat really quick. What's going on, Alex? Long time no see, my friend. I'm glad to see you. And Nilesh is asking, please add live stream in playlist. I've got you. So let's go ahead and view this site. So we're looking good. We have all of our sections, okay? And we can also remove this scroll bar if we wanted to. I'll show you guys how to do that in the Discord if you guys want. And here we go. I'm gonna actually delete that footer down here. We don't need that. Let's go ahead and delete. Let's go ahead and publish again. View site. And here we have it, guys. We have basically our sections. We can jump into, for example, we can hook this button up to our portfolio page by doing this. We can click take a look. We can go to our link button, and we're going to attach this to that portfolio page that we've made automatically using the content manager. So we're gonna pick which page. We're gonna go to our portfolio, all dynamic. I'm gonna hit done. We're gonna go and hit publish. Let's take a look. Let's go ahead and learn more. Oop, wrong one. Right here. Take a look. Now it's brought us to that portfolio page, and this is where, again, you'll be able to change out all of the content using that CRM. And again, like I showed you guys, it gives you all of the options. If we go to that page, portfolio all, manage all items. This is where you edit all of your projects, okay? And it has all of the project name 1, project name 2. These will all correlate to the projects that we see here, okay? You can change the images. Whoop. Yeah, there's a lot here. And we have done tons of other videos on this stuff. I don't want to overcomplicate this, but ladies and gentlemen, 2 things I hope you get. Pre-compositions. 2, how to create pages in EditorX. 3, you can automatically generate portfolios using dynamic pages in EditorX. To actually dive into them, stay tuned, join our Discord. We have amazing support. But I just want you guys to get in here and start designing just with the templates, just seeing how easy that is. And then maybe if you want to get into the CRM, you can do that. But you don't even need to design your portfolio with the CRM. That's what I'm trying to get across to you guys. That's like advanced. Maybe you spend a couple weeks in EditorX and you're like, okay, I want to try. But you can design a lot just with pre-comps. You can change your images, you can change your text, and it's already responsive. That's it. Easy day. So ladies and gentlemen, that is what we have for today. Again, join me in our EditorX Discord. Links down in the description. We're about to do a full hour plus of just design chat. We're going to continue our conversation, a little bit of what we have here, but specifically Q&A. And really just getting to meet you guys. Some of you are brand new to EditorX. We're gonna in our community, so we're gonna do a quick hello, go over a little bit deeper dive of what we did today, and anything else you guys have questions on. It's purely another it is a more in-depth community version of what we've done here in terms of our tutorial. So I hope you guys join. And again, the 2 main things, or the few main things that I wanted you guys to get out of today was the pre-compositions, how to create pages, and just overall how you don't need to be like a genie in EditorX to make some really cool things, especially things that are already responsive. Use the puzzle pieces that are already made. So thank you guys for joining. Lisa, Alex, Kyle, Victor. We had Asha, we have Yash. Thank you guys. We had Knight. Thank you guys for hanging out with us today in the live stream, and I'll see you guys in our Discord. So with that, have a great day, and I will see you next Wednesday, same time, same place, to do yet another live stream on design, news, and all the cool new things coming out in the market. So thank you guys. I'll see you in the Discord. Peace.